You Yeah, I'll chat to you a little bit later, but let's have a good show. Eh? It's been an experience.
Yo, I put it like wow, this that sound. These oaks don't work hard like me, I hope they know by now. Bayo Bab, stand my ground. Bro, these money trees go overseas like Percy Tau. I'll make sure you stay around, quiet when I'm under loud. No negatives allowed, me and positivity took a vow. I always play to win, don't anticipate loss. Mind always in the clown, my boy. Never think about the drop, never ever ever think about the drop.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT show. I'm MKT. It's Friday. It's MUT. We've just set off 100-mile runners right here in George, in Outeniqua. We're at the Outeniqua Rugby Park, and they're off. It's 50 hours of running, 160 kilometers. They will go up and over, and some will come home in 21, 22, 23 hours. The others will come home, most of the field will come home in 40 hours plus. They have 50 hours to complete 160 kilometers that the MUT proudly brought to us by UTMB. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. We are doing it. We are doing it. They are doing it. 100 miles underway. MKT show, what are we doing today? As I do every single Friday, we're back, by the way. I'll do Friday 5. Obviously, it's managers. It's higher fire season. So I thought there's been a lot of talk about Jurgen Klopp and where Pep fits and all of this conversation. The Friday 5 today will be the greatest managers in Premier League history within that context. So we'll break that down a little bit. And then we joined with one of my heroes, Ryan Sands, will join us in the second hour. We'll chop it up. He's got a little something that he's announcing. So maybe we're getting an exclusive today. Who knows? Ryan Sands, and then I know she's been getting some positive feedback. I'm not gonna assume why, but M is getting positive feedback and I'm not. But she will be with us today. I'm not assuming anything. I'm just saying I'm not getting any positive feedback and M is. I haven't got any positive feedback from this guy, a Zulu guy, one who works in, he colludes with Amadlozi. He calls himself the sports sangoma. In fact, he's not calling himself that. The people are saying, they have spoken. Insizwa ngempela waseThekwini. Ladies and gents, sports sangoma. Sanele Shabs. Shabs being short for Shabalala. Talk to me, Sangoma. How's it going there, brother?
Yeah, all good, but Good to be back. It's a bit of the wrong timing, My Friday mornings are usually kind of blocked off to myself.
Yeah.
Kind of when I get to put my bets together for the weekend, finalize what I'm thinking, and obviously every morning, Friday mornings from 9 to about 1:30, I'm usually stuck to the screen betting live on Super Rugby. So you caught me at the wrong time, yeah, but. The team are back. The Brumbies are up 39-3, and they're probably 5 minutes into the second half. So,
Okay.
Hasn't been a bad morning. I came up short in the Hurricanes game. I went for over 42 points in the match, and I came up, I think, two points short. But my team, the Hurricanes, the legendary Hurricanes from Wellington, pipped it in the last 2 minutes of the kick to win the game.
If you're old like me, you remember Tana Umanga. Those were the days, wasn't it? When Nonu was playing with the frosted tips. When they, that Tana Umanga. Did they have Alama Iramia, Peter Alatini, Christian Cullen at the back? Oh, what a back three that was. That was the Canes. They're the Hurricanes now. They feel a little formal. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. All right, so you've already picked some winners this morning. We'll get into the Sangoma 6 a little bit later. The Sangoma's with us. As I said, Ryan Sands, packed show today. We'll start off with the Friday 5. I'll take a little break on the other side. MKT show. We have returned. The return of the Mac. If you're all like me, remember that song? Return of the Mac. It's a bit of hippity-hoppity culture. I'm not really a hip-hop guy. I'm not really into American hip-hop. I got to be honest. I'm more of the Mandem guy. I mean, me, Premier League, when I was living there, I was living in a place called Watford, where the Mandem are the Mandem. London's is a little soft compared to Watford. Well, Watford's where the Mandem are. So the West Indian dudes, they are out there. Garage, all of that. I used to go to underground parties, sort of illegal radio stations. There was plenty of that there. Incredible times. Anyway, I'm old. That was back then. So to say, before we go off, it has been an amazing week to come down. There's you never really get to see the team. I've got Karabo here. He goes by Forbes. He's an MC. I've got Michael here. I believe the top technical guy in terms of digital media in Africa, no doubt. And then I've got a guy who's downgraded from doing Rihanna concerts to working with idiots like us here, if you can imagine. Welcome. So just want to shout out, you don't often get to do this, is to appreciate the people that make this a reality. It's all good and well that I'm in front of the camera, but there are things they have to do. They have to do actual hard work. I just get to show up and I can say whatever I want. I do the easy work. So shout out to the team and to the boys. And I think as we roll out back, it'll be nice to kind of introduce people to people who started the dream and have helped me pick it up here. So shout out to the boys before we get into it. As I said, though, let's get into the show. So big shout out to the boys. I can't thank them enough, and I'm eternally grateful. But as I do every single Friday, the MKT show is back. We are back. The return of the Mac. Welcome. Give me that bed music. We're going to get into it. We call it the Friday 5. And this week, I am showing you my top 5 managers in Premier League history. Because there's been a lot of talk about where does Pep fit? Where does so-and-so fit? So I'm going to give you my top 5, and we'll get into it and hear what the Sangoma and you guys at home have to say. At number 5, listen, he's one of 3 who've done the double. The League Cup double is not done by everybody. He's now 1-4, including the great Pep Guardiola. But for me, at number 5, it's Carlo Ancelotti. I don't know why he doesn't get the credit for the season that he had at Chelsea Football Club. This guy, obviously, everyone thinks of him as Real Madrid, but remember the season he had where he won the League and FA Cup double. That's not a joke. That is not a joke. That's only been. He's only the 4th guy to have done that in the Premier League context. So for me, at number 5, it's Don Carlo with the magic eyebrow. It was The Rock. People said it was The Rock first. Carlo actually did it first, and then The Rock came after him. Rocky Maivia, shout out to him, shouting out Carlo Ancelotti. At number 4, I think it's quite easy. Invincible, the professor of football, and just a giant of the game. He changed everything in England. He brought diets in. He turned the English league from a semi-professional product to the real deal. Came back from Japan. At number 4, the great Arsene Wenger, El Professore. Absolutely brilliant manager, and the one man who went invincible. That's at number 4. At number 3, 6 and 7. 4 in a row. Pep Guardiola, for me, is the 3rd greatest manager in the history of the English Premier League context. To go 4 in a row is spectacular. Put everything aside. They have been unbelievable. He has monopolized the league. 6 and 7, the 3rd best for me, and he's on his way. Should he do it again? I think we're going to have to start having an awkward conversation. But I do think the top 2 have separated themselves. This man dethroned the dynastic Manchester United team. He is that guy. At number 2, he's from Portugal. When you think to yourself what he did at Porto, when you think to yourself what he did at Madrid, dethroning Pep, and then coming back at Chelsea and winning them the 3rd title at number 2, the great Jose Mourinho. An incredible manager. For me, what he's done to have... Remember, they conceded 15 goals. 15 goals in a whole season. Do not tell me that you'll ever see that again. I don't care if it's 5th division football in Uzbekistan. No one's ever going to go a 38-game season again at any level and concede 15 goals. The greatest team that's ever been put out was that title-winning team under Jose Mourinho, the 2nd greatest. Number 1, I don't really need to, he's got 13 in 27 years. He's the real guy. Like, no one's Alex Ferguson. Nobody's Alex Ferguson. Let's stop the nonsense. Cut the crap. Cut the crap. I want to stop hearing his conversations. He is alone. 13 titles. I don't care what... Pep Guardiola would have to at least get to 10. 13 titles. You know what it is that makes Fergie separate to everyone else? He adapted to the 80s. He adapted to the 90s. He adapted to the 2010s, right? And then so come on. 80s, 90s, noughties, 2010s. He evolved over 4 eras. The money came, he didn't care. He went 3 in a row with Jose, with Wenger, with big money coming across. It didn't matter to him. While he was here, there was only room for him. That is all-time dominant. There's nobody who could stop this guy. The money couldn't stop him. Everyone thought Abramovich's money will stop Man United. He said, oh, relax. I'm still going to go 3 in a row while Abramovich is here trying to dominate. Incredible. The great Sir Alex Ferguson. So, for me, Carlo Ancelotti, number 5. Arsene Wenger, number 4. Pep Guardiola, number 3. And Jose Mourinho, number 2. And the all-conquering SAF, Sir Alex Ferguson, number 1. Sangoma, what do you think of my list? Do you have anything to a retort there? Would you change anything?
Yeah, it's not too shabby there, but I think the list is quite spot on. Just for outside mention, some legendary coaches that have come through the Premier League that might not make the list. The likes of David Moyes and Harry Redknapp were always a good value to the league.
Yeah.
In my top 5, I'll definitely say, starting at 5, I would have to go with Arsene Wenger.
At 5th? So you'd have him 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking at... Actually, wait, let me reassess. I'll switch that up. I'll start with Klopp at 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then followed by Jose at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Arsene Wenger at 3. And yes, I'll agree Sir Alex won for the moment, but I believe that'll end up being Pep at 1 and Sir Alex at 2.
Well, what do people on social media think? The Sangoma says he believes Pep will overtake Sir Alex. I'd like to know, what do people think Pep would have to do to overtake Sir Alex? I don't think he can ever get there. For me to get into the Sir Alex conversation and even to start touching on Jose's legacy, because 15 goals, for me, I'm very clear. If he gets to 10, then he puts himself in a conversation to dethrone those two. But the Sangoma says, no. And I like how you had to rethink, because your father, Arsene Wenger, you had to kind of bump him up a little bit there. I saw you going, you didn't like the list you'd prepared. You had to put the man who's invincible. And listen, if going invincible was that easy, we talk banter, right? If going invincible was that easy, everyone would do it. It's clearly not that easy. What Arsene Wenger did was absolutely incredible. I'm sorry, I don't care what people have to say.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. Funny, tonight or this weekend, we'll see by Leverkusen, obviously, that have become the new Invincibles. And funny enough, our homegrown side in Mamelodi Sundowns, should they win tomorrow, they also join that list of Invincibles amongst the world's best.
Can they stop criminal activity, though? Like, what are we doing? Did you see that fight against TS Galaxy? What are we doing? What are we actually doing there?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shit show, but, which league or which country doesn't have such issues?
No, but
I've seen it happen everywhere over time.
Yeah. Talk to me about Rulani Mokoena. Does he think he's like the Pep Guardiola of Africa or whatever? Like, he's got a bit of an attitude, doesn't he?
Terrible attitude. He's not my favorite.
He's not, dude.
Definitely not a guy I would go after and have a debate with him.
He's doing too much. Like, it's clearly not his natural character. He's overcompensating. Like, bro, you're not Pep Guardiola. We appreciate that you at the most organized club, and I'm not saying it's easy. You know, I kind of know a little bit of the family that he works for. They're not bad people, but they are demanding people. So I understand that it's not easy to be the manager of that football club. But he almost feels like, that guy when we were young, where the girls didn't really fancy him and he never quite made the first team. But then he gets successful like in his 40s, and then he kind of overcompensates by getting a model and a Ferrari to kind of flex on us. You know what I mean? And his insecurities come out that way. It feels like, because now he's successful, now he's going to flex on him. I don't know if you know the type of guy I'm talking about.
Yeah. As we say, he's out there and he's very much into himself. But let's hope with your success that comes in your 40s, you don't become like Rulani.
Some people might say I'm already in my Rulani phase without the success. So imagine I get rich.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be the end of it. But, I don't know if I want to be hanging around with you when you get a bit of dough in your pocket.
Listen, so before we get into the Sangoma 6, we'll get on to the other side. Listen, I know you were watching the rugby. So what did you punt on? You kind of touched on it. The Brumbies. So the Brumbies are on now, and you won there. What have you put on the Super Rugby this morning? I'd like to know what you've won and what you've lost this morning before we get into the Sangoma 6 in a bit.
You'll see my eyes are wandering because I've got a little screen here watching the game as we speak.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, this morning I lost a bit of time on the Hurricanes game. I went for over 42 points and I fell short of that. But I don't mind that because in another bet of mine, I had my team, the Hurricanes, winning away from home against the almighty Chiefs, which is never an easy game. And the Hurricanes were 14-10 outsiders on that game. So it's been an okay start in the Brumbies game. I went for Brumbies to win the first half. And I've gone for over 5.5 tries, and I think they've got 5 now. I'm waiting for one more try in this game.
So 5.5 tries for Brumbies, or 5.5 tries in the game?
5.5 tries for Brumbies, over 5.5, which means they must score 6 tries or more.
Okay, so we're in the money there. We're making moolah.
Well, not yet. Let's just wait for Brumbies to score. Then I'll let you know as soon as they do.
Okay, no. Let's see if he'll be buying us steak dinners next week if the Brumbies do their thing. Dude, I heard such a wild story. I got a quick story for you. So I'm not really in the hippity culture, but somebody told me that I wanted to touch on this before we get into what's going on with P Diddy and 50 Cent. Like, have they always hated each other? Those guys. Like, I don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's deep-seated stuff that's gone on for a couple of years, if not a decade or two. They've just generally had beef. They're very different in how they operate, and now the files are coming out on P Diddy. You know, a video was released last week of him with some GBV with an old partner of his. I suppose I can say her name, Cassie. I'm not caught up in the court documents where they can't mention each other's names. And then straight after that video, P Diddy put out a video from wherever he is in Bali, probably hiding with Russell Simmons there, about basically apologizing about the video that was released just over a week ago, which was from a hotel showing him dragging Cassie and kicking her. So the files are slowly coming out. Obviously, about a month ago, his home was raided by Homeland Security, both of his homes in the east and the west coast, and his sons were actually put into handcuffs. And now 50 Cent is basically was in a bidding war between them and TMZ and Tubi and Netflix as to who is going to show the Did He Do It documentary that's been put together by 50 Cent and his company. And Netflix won that bidding war, and apparently it's in the works, and we should be getting a first episode coming pretty soon.
So
is a bit of a blow.
Is Diddy just like a terrible human now? Like, I mean, we're kind of finding stuff out about people. Is he just a terrible human? Like, it doesn't seem like he's being painted in the best light. I mean, I don't really know his past, but he's like been caught up obviously with the Biggie Smalls thing. You know what parents always say, like, why is it always Usman Ban? You know, our parents used to warn us to say, no, this one is always in and around. I don't like this person's vibe. I don't know if your parents ever told you about a friend of yours where they said, this one, it's always Usman Ban. Doesn't it feel like Diddy's kind of got that now? Like, dude, it's always you. It can't be, it's not the industry or the Illuminati or whatever people say. Like, dude, you can't be involved in Biggie Smalls and now all of this stuff has come out. Is he just a terrible human? And we have to accept that all of those hits you guys were bumping and grinding to in the club for the late 90s and noughties, we got to R. Kelly that stuff, put it away, and you can only listen to it with earphones.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of something we've probably turned a blind eye to over the time, but if you look over the years, whether it's Biggie, Tupac drama, he was always happy to kind of be involved there. And now he's up there with the likes of Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the list goes on. But so I think this thing is a lot bigger than just the industry. I think it's got a lot of industry execs that are involved, and pretty similar to Jeffrey Epstein. It involves a lot of very heavy hitting people, politicians, lawyers, etc., etc. So people are going to do what they have to do to cover it up, even if it means that Diddy must disappear, or we'll have to just see how it unravels over the next couple of weeks and months.
Crazy stuff. I can't believe it. I can never. But what do we do? It's separate the art from the artist. I don't know. People must do whatever they want, but that's big news. P Diddy, huh? Scumbag. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? That just shows you, like, hey, just because people are famous does not mean they are not scumbags. Oh man. Hey, listen, you hate to hear it. It breaks my heart. Although he's still worth $100 million. Like, whatever. I find it very difficult to feel sorry for somebody who's worth $100 million. He's not a victim. All the best to him. Pay your lawyers, and hopefully, I mean, we've kind of seen what you are now. So, there's no recovery from that one, I'm afraid. That video it looks, as they say in America, nasty. That's nasty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's stick to what we do. Let's carry on talking sport. Where we kind of.
Yes, I just wanted to touch on that. Like, we're part of the culture. We're part of the mandem, as they say. Tell me something. I wanted to ask you a question quickly. We'll go to a break, and then we'll come back and we'll do the Sangoma 6. Your thought on T20 cricket? I can't watch it anymore. I'm sick of people making 200. Why do people not just pick 11 batsmen? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough watch these days because, as you're saying, the bowlers almost have no chance in it. Look, let's see. Maybe things will be a bit better with the World Cup coming up now. With some drop-in pitches there in the West Indies, and you see, we took a loss to the West Indies actually last night. So let's hope on the international front, it's not as silly as it has been this IPL, because this IPL was a bit of a dog show.
No, absolute dog show. Listen, are you ready with your picks? I mean, maybe we should just get into the Sangoma 6 now and get it out the way before the break. What you got for us there, bro? Do you have your, I mean, you're a big time guy. He's already been playing. I want to hear what's in your mind. What's in the brain? Take us into the weekend and what we should be picking. Give us some winners there. It's a tough economy out here.
Yeah, well, I'll start probably, if we need to do it in order. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at my bet slip here. So this evening, I also, I dabble in a bit of rugby league. So this evening, a good little bet will be St. Helens to come through against Leeds Rhinos. Then followed tomorrow by the Blues, Auckland Blues, in the Super Rugby. And then Celtics to beat Rangers, the Old Firm, Scottish Cup final. That should be a banger. And then Sundowns to join the invincible conversation. Should they come up trump tomorrow at home? And then one that you might enjoy, before that one, Bayer Leverkusen, after slipping up midweek against Atalanta, they lost 3-0 with Lookman scoring a hat-trick. They're definitely not going to let the DFB Kopal, the Cup, German Cup, flip this weekend. So Bayer Leverkusen, you can take as a shoe-in. And then Sharks tonight. That's a bit of a bet that's emotional, like I told you earlier in the week. I don't really like to bet with my heart, but sometimes you take a dabble because this is an important one for us to make it into the Heineken Cup or the European Champions Cup for next season. So I'll definitely take a dabble with Sharks tonight. And then on Sunday, the French Open, the Clay Open gets underway. And due to lack of tennis and all of that, Djokovic and Nadal don't have a bye like they usually would in the first round of a major. And so Sasha Zverev is playing Rafa Nadal. So Rafa Nadal in his swan song season and last French Open could be going out in round one.
Which is crazy. Can you not make a plan for the guy? Like, he is the prince of Roland Garros. Like, listen, I'm not saying cheat. I'm saying protect the asset. Like, surely they could have wangled it and they could just massage it, for him, and then just tell us this is how it randomly ended up. But like, come on, guys, you can't give him Zverev. What if the dude loses?
Yeah, well, he will lose, and you would have thought that the tournament organizers may have tried to make a plan and place him in a draw where he's at least got a chance to make it to Wednesday, Thursday next week. But seemingly he'll be packing his bags on Sunday evening and making his way back to Spain.
Have you started looking into Roland Garros, or are you going to wait sort of for the first week in terms of, I mean, you've given us, I think you said Swiatek, you can't look far from her. Have you given any sort of overall thoughts for who's going to win? Have you put any money down there, or what's your process for Roland Garros? Are you going to let it roll out and then kind of pick in second week?
Yeah, the pool is so big and there's so many games every day. I kind of just like to take it day by day, to be fair. The only one I would probably take for the long haul in terms of a tournament winner would be Iga Swiatek. And I'll definitely take a bit of Sasha Zverev perhaps as an overall winner. But other than that, I like to take it day by day and like to get a bit of an accumulator. What usually happens, less so on clay courts, but more so on hard and grass courts, is in a trend that you find in the first week of a major or in the first 3 days of a tournament, the first couple of rounds, that you would find that the higher seeds usually kind of get through. But with clay courts, it's a bit different because obviously it's a lot slower. It brings in a lot more other players into the mix, Spanish and French players that are used to the surface. So yeah, I think next week we could get into some more specific picks, but sitting here now, outside picks, I'll say Sasha Zverev and Iga Swiatek.
All right.
To lift the cup.
No, I love that. All right, listen, we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back with some legends. That is the Sangoma 6. So every now and then, you know, when he pops in, when he's here with us, hopefully he's, you know, who knows? But he's the real deal. Like, as you've heard, that is his language. And he's not just participating. He's not like me. He's not just dabbling. Like, this is it. As you can see, he was watching on his phone because he's playing half by half. He got the Brumbies first half victory, as he said. Lost on his beloved Hurricanes. I said to him, listen, bro, I can't believe you still watch Super Rugby. He says it's the best rugby in the world. I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to get into it. That is your Sangoma 6. That'll become a part of the furniture, I hope. Let's pick some winners in this economy. On the other side, Ryan Sands, M. Robertson. It's Emma Lee, not a granny. MKT show. Welcome back, MKT show. Hell of a week. Wrapping it up. It's our last hour down here. I've had a pretty good time. 100 milers are out there. In case you didn't know. Sagoma, you were saying 50 hours for the 100 miler. 100 miles is 160 Ks, by the way. So what do you reckon? What do you think about that, pal?
Firstly, I did go to a private, so I know what miles and kilometers are, bud.
Listen, whoa. I'm glad you said that. Let's address it immediately. You went to Kersney, the third most, you know what I mean? If anything, on the ladder, just in the Midlands, they third. I don't really want to have to get into this live. I was hoping a family matter wouldn't come to the public. But if you're at Kersney, I think between you and I, we know who's at the top, and then I'll let you guys scrap for second. But if anything, come on.
It depends what we're using as a yardstick here. But I've been around the block. I was at Marisburg College, then Kersney College, and I finished at St. John's College in Houghton, Johannesburg. So I've done my fair share. In terms of schools over the time.
So you went down every time.
100 miler.
You went down every time, actually. There. So sorry, you went Marisburg College. You were kind of on the right track. Then you went to Kersney, and we don't know what's going on there. St. John's. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, but what school did you go to?
Everyone knows what the best school in the country is. So I went to that school. Everyone knows what it is. There's no need to say it. There's no need to. Because I don't want to be that guy, you know. Like the King of Luxembourg or the Prince of Monaco doesn't walk around saying, I'm the Prince of Monaco. It's understood. It's understood what we're up to here. Everybody knows where you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it takes us back to a conversation the other day, whether we're talking about Chelsea or you, and whether you're a 6 or a 9.
All right, 160 miles, 50 hours. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted, firstly, I wanted to just find out what is it. Are they running that 50 hours or 40 odd hours all at once, with no break or no sleeping or no camping, or how does that work? And then secondly, how many people of color partake in this event? This is, if you don't mind my language, some crazy white boy kind of stuff, you know.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Bro. I'm gonna. Yeah.
And lastly, why aren't you and old M, or should I say Emily? I know maybe I haven't qualified to call her M yet.
Yeah.
Why aren't the two of you partaking?
Awesome. You know what I'm gonna do? That's big time presenting by you. You've done the teaser. For who we've got in the studio. So, dude, have a great weekend. We'll chat on the other side. All of these questions will be asked because the demographics you're asking about are in the house with us, and I'll pass it on. As they say, you remember back in the day of, I'll listen on the radio. Thanks, John. That's my question. I'll listen on the radio.
Yeah, just to stop it, since you had me offline, the Brumbies have scored another 2 tries, so chicken, I came in on that bet.
Winner, chicken dinner. All right, on that note, let me let you go while the vibes are immaculate. Sangoma, have a great weekend. We'll chat a little bit later. Appreciate you, pal.
Cheers, everybody. Take care.
All right, there we go. He's out. He had some interesting questions, as you can hear. Let me intro a man who, it's quite cool to get to meet your heroes. I mean, if you're in the trail running scene in South Africa, he was the first global superstar, in my opinion. We had great runners here, and obviously I'll let him explain it, but he really, really took it global and sort of understood what that meant. I've got the great Ryan Sands with me. Ryan, good to have you here, firstly. Nice. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, yeah, really cool to be here.
So Sanele was asking, and we might as well get straight to it, is...
First of all, what the best school is?
No, we don't need to ask about that. We all know what it is. If you didn't go to Hilton College, you understand you're second best. It's Hilton, and like nobody at Hilton says you're the best. We just know what it is, and then everyone else is kind of scrapping and reeling, and it's fine. Whoever you decide is second.
Live in your own bubble.
It's kind of like being Elon Musk. Like he's not arguing with anyone.
Okay.
Like he's the guy, and then the rest of you are doing what you're doing. And we don't get involved in that conversation because it's understood. I thought this was understood.
Guess we can agree to disagree.
Ryan's a sax guy. That's why he's saying that. You know, sorry, there's a bit of a thing that I've just triggered in Ryan here, because they're allegedly the oldest school in the country. Because you've got the thing of, was it your school that burnt down, and then it's actually not the oldest, or was it the other one? Is it St Andrews in?
No, we're the oldest school.
Oh yeah, all right. You see what we've. All right. So what he actually said was, do the people have to sleep in the race? How many people of color are involved? Because he said, and this is quoting him, this is some crazy white boy stuff. So so on that front, and then there was a question directed at you as well. Why aren't you participating?
In the 100 miler?
Yeah. That's what he said. So he asked me. I'll answer quickly. I can't participate. I'm working at the event. Like, what are we talking about? I can't do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm here to hang out with you.
And in terms of people of color, in the 100 miler, I didn't see too many. So that is what that is. It's not road marathons, with all due respect. That is what that is. And Ryan, do people sleep?
Yeah, when I did it last year, I was pretty close to sleeping. It's a tough start because you start at 12 o'clock, and then like UTMB, you start at 6 o'clock in the evening. So the time you get into, like, when you're running 100 miles, where you get the most tired is kind of that 3-4 in the morning, just before sunrise.
Yeah.
And because you start like at 12 o'clock, it's kind of, say, 6 hours before UTMB in Chamonix. By the time you get physically, and you're like physically tired, but then you also get kind of mentally tired. It's tough. It's like a double whammy. So, geez, I mean, I struggled last year from like 3 in the morning to about 6. I mean, there's a part of me that nearly just thought, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and lie on the side, or just lie on the side of the trail for 10 minutes and have a sleep. I don't know if I would have woken up, but luckily I kept going. But I mean, so guys, I mean, you can take a power nap at aid stations. You'll probably see some of the bigger aid stations. They will maybe literally just lie down for half an hour or so, 10 minutes. Like another big 100 miler in Reunion Island.
Yeah.
That's a super tough 100 miler. And the guys actually can sleep at the aid stations, but so if you come in there, they will say, you tell them, okay, I want to sleep for 2, or you're not allowed to sleep longer than 2 hours. If you sleep longer than 2 hours, you're out of the race. Mm-hmm. But if you go in there and say, I want to sleep for 30 minutes, they'll kind of wake you up after 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it flipped, like, from the longer projects I've done, sleeping makes a huge difference. If you just sleep for like 10, 15 minutes, because you just get so tired and you think you're moving quickly, but you're actually not moving very quickly. So it does help. But I'm sure there are going to be guys that'll sleep at 1 or 2, or like have a little power nap.
That's brutal, eh? To know, like, guys like you even take a nap. And just so you know, Ryan won it last year in 20 hours in the most outrageous conditions. I mean, I ran 8 kilometers of just the beginning up to basically the peak there. And I'm daddy long legs guy. You know, I've got, for a 5'11" person, I've got very long legs. On my legs, right, it was coming up to my knees. In some parts, you were sliding into the mud so much that it was knee deep. I know Ryan came back in a mess. He still finished in 20 hours. So if he's saying it was brutal, these guys are in for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough 100 miler. I think conditions are a bit drier this year. I've done 1 or 2 runs on the trails, but I mean, with these mountains, anything can happen, and conditions change so quickly. So I know the rain has kind of passed. Initially, it was supposed to rain tonight and Saturday, and I was like, geez, I feel sorry for those oaks.
I've been there.
Yeah, been there, got the t-shirt. It's tough out there. But then also, I mean, just touching on kind of the demographics of the races. I mean, I guess, as you say, trail running traditionally has been maybe seen as
a Caucasian sport.
Exactly. But I mean, it's very cool to see that changing now, kind of in South Africa.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many guys in the 100 miler, but I think the shorter distances, because I mean, you got to build up slowly.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time. But I mean, it's cool. Even if I see globally, I guess the African runners dominate the marathons.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see them starting to come into some of the marathon distance trail races, like kind of the big ones like Sagama series and now the Golden Trail series, where the guys are starting to come in and dominate. I mean, I guess also trail running is very different to road running or kind of flat running. I mean, it takes time to adapt and get used to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a matter of time, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, as a sport, number one, those guys generally run the marathon because people respond to incentives. That's where the money is.
For sure.
But with guys like UTMB and the professionalization and the prize money ramping up, I mean, Ryan, I'm not saying you're old, but you have been in the game to have seen it from a semi-professional sport becoming professional, and then now you know you can make a living out of it now. You know, guys like yourself have made a living out of being this. So you will see some of the guys go, you know, I live in Kenya, altitude, mountains, we have that here. And then once guys get into it, let's see how it goes. But I do think that's a fair point. And you know, the demographics are, it's an interesting one. It's changing. It is changing. So it's also an incredible lifestyle. So once the man them get involved in the lifestyle, then the guys tend to stay, you know. So like the crew here, the guys hadn't really been to an event. These are my guys, and just coming into, hey, Forbes, it was where were we? We were at the Backpackers. Yeah, at the Backpackers, dude, and we pulled in there, and it is a wilderness. Yeah. So even for guys in my crew, it's like, what, you know, this isn't really a part of the world we'd come to. Not really golf guys, but now they've seen, it's like, oh no, we're coming back here, and organically that'll happen. You know what I mean?
No, I think that's super cool, and I mean, yeah, geez, the sport's evolved at a crazy pace, and I mean, I said it to you yesterday, just to see like some of the youngsters coming through, just how talented and fast they are. And I mean, I think it's exciting. I mean, I feel with like the growth, I almost feel South Africa is like a bit behind, and I mean, I don't think it's because of talent. I think it's because of lack of opportunities. I mean, I've been fortunate to be able to race a lot abroad, and I mean, you learn a hell of a lot there. I mean, the guys racing in Europe, they're lucky that, I guess, I mean, Europe, it's a small place. I mean, you can travel from kind of Spain to France to kind of Switzerland. It's very easy. It's like traveling between a province in South Africa. So it's very easy for them to race at like a high level kind of every couple of weeks. Whereas like for a South African, if you want to go race in Europe, it's a big investment. It's a big commitment. And it's cool that, I mean, I've seen a lot more kind of previously disadvantaged runners trying to get over to Europe. And I mean, I think if we can support more guys to get to Europe and the US and to race abroad, and also races like the MUT by UTMB, being on a global circuit, bringing more international guys here, I think it just will help us lift the level here, or the benchmark here. And like I said, like we've definitely got no shortage of talent here. We just need to kind of give them the opportunities.
Talk to me about, have you met Em before, by the way? I don't know if you guys have met.
You introduced us yesterday.
I introduced you yesterday.
Thanks.
So she'll probably ask you to be on her podcast, because Ryan, here's her move. Every single guest we've had, if she hasn't met them, because she's also a coach, by the way, also doing her PhD, unbelievably impressive human. Also into 3/4 jeans, but maybe for a different thing. She's worn 3/4 jeans every day. I'm just giving you the full profile. But she's probably at some stage going to ask you to be on her podcast, because one thing I realized, it's like, Em's really nice, but then she comes on the show, and then every guest is like, why are you asking them through our show to be on the podcast? So I'm just warning you that although she's sweet, she might say, oh, trail running legend Ryan Sands, while you're here, I've got trail culture. I'm also a coach doing a PhD. And that's the pitch, just so you know. I'm warning you ahead.
So lucky for you, I actually just did that shamelessly before coming on the show.
Oh, so you did?
Yeah.
She did it a few weeks back and then just ghosted me. Didn't get back to me. She said she got too busy.
No, let's talk about it. So what happened there? She sent you a DM?
Okay, to be fair, there was a lot of time that passed between the messages, because I like just, you DM people on Instagram. I'm like, I don't even know if Ryan looks at his own Instagram, if someone else does it. And sometimes people respond, sometimes they don't. And then I was in the US doing a whole lot of stuff with research, and I wasn't doing the podcast thing. I'd set stuff up automatically, and then I was sitting at the airport, and then I see Ryan's like, oh, hey, I'll come on your podcast. And then I was like, what? Is this real? And
you panicked?
Hey? No, I didn't panic. I was just like, oh, cool. And then I was like, cool, I'll send you a WhatsApp. We'll set it up. Came back to South Africa. Jet lag, George Mutt, here I am. So, not an excuse. I should have WhatsApped you.
Ryan, I don't want to be judgy guy. It's a little excuse-y. Maybe not full excuse,
No, definitely it cut me
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah, understandably. Ryan, I'm on Ryan's side here. Wow.
Okay,
Wait, you
okay.
big
I
time-
was. You said it earlier. I freaked out. It's like, what am I gonna ask this guy? You must be one of the most interviewed trail runners on SA
Does that
soil.
get annoying?
Yeah,
Great-
but that's
great
what I'm
point.
saying. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to like sit down with you and be like, cool, I'm gonna ask you the 10 questions that everyone's asked you 10 times. So you have to try to be creative. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Does it get annoying though? Because I mean, although I'm not like Emma, I'm not a good person. When I asked Ryan, I don't think, oh, does this get annoying? So you've raised a good point here. PhD, by the way. PhD, and not like in marketing, like one of those crappy ones.
Yeah.
Proper science, sports scientist, PhD at Steadies.
Nice.
Big time. 27.
Thanks.
Doing PhD at 27.
Jeez.
Yeah, insane. Does that get annoying? Like, how do you feel about that side of things? Because you know, it's not like trail running's football. It's not. It wasn't really part of the deal. And I know the professionalization of the sport comes with that side. How do you feel about like being like a marketing machine?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be sitting sitting here. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of, as you mentioned, I am fully professional, and it's been an amazing career. And I mean, you take the good with the bad, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've also enjoyed sharing my experiences. Obviously, there are times when I mean, I'm naturally an introvert.
Yeah.
If we had to do an oral at school, I would try and bunk or hide. So it's been tough for me. So like it does take my energy, but I mean at the same time I feel like I'm in an extremely privileged position, and I mean, yeah, I wanna give back. I wanna share my knowledge, and it's cool to share the stories and kind of the adventures I've been on. So yeah, I mean definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely not like opposed to it. I mean, like I say, it's been, like as I said, amazing to see how the sport has evolved.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess there's a lot more pressure. I suppose a big thing is before like big events. So I mean, talking about UTMB, I mean that week before is always crazy. Just like kind of how much like you're trying to prep for the race. You got nerves, and then you got like sponsor commitments, there's kind of media as well. So I mean, I think it's important to find that balance, because at the end of the day, you need to perform your best at the race. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's just.
But great advice for young guys coming up, because a lot of people won't tell them this side of things, because, and I appreciate you for being that honest. A lot of youngsters, and I think, I don't want to be old guy, but I'm old guy, is they see the success of Ryan Sands and they forget that your performance actually makes you, the best form of marketing is winning, right?
Sure.
And you did the winning, and then the big deals came. So a lot of the youngsters, especially today with Instagram, people see the end result. No one knows that, yeah, but actually Ryan would have been training, and he also gets injured, and he also has self-doubt, and he also, so a lot of people don't see what it takes to be a winner, and then they go, I'm 24, let me just be a marketing machine. And then they forget to, hey, you still got to put in the grind so that you can be a winner. Because winning in over 15, 20 years is the reason you've sustained, Ryan, is you won. And forevermore, you will be a winner. And people want to associate with winners. So I don't know if I'm kind of headed the way you were talking, but it's a good lesson for youngsters for me is focus on the winning, and the rest must be secondary.
For sure. I mean, I definitely think, as you say, like focusing on performance. But I mean, I feel for young, like up and coming sportsmen. It doesn't, not necessarily trail runners these days, with like social media and stuff. It's like so intense. Like there's so many commitments, and I mean, there's big like sponsor expectations. I mean, I feel you either got to be a Courtney Deerwalter or a Jim Wormsley. They were like, you can not have an Instagram account basically if you wanted to, because you're just that good and you win everything. But I mean, if you not winning everything, which is kind of the majority of professional athletes, then you have to be kind of like quite all-rounded in terms of social media, kind of doing stuff for sponsors. So I mean, I've almost seen like some of the young guys that don't do that, it almost backfires in the end. So I mean, when I first started running, I'd privileged to run with Dean Conazes, who's like an ultra running legend. And it was one of the races we finished. It was the Sahara Desert race, and I was trying to pick his brain because you're sponsored by Oakley, the North Face. Like, I mean,
It's 250 kilometers in the desert, by the way, for people who don't know. But go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah. So I mean, he was someone I really looked up to. I just read his book, and like, I mean, he was probably one of like 4 or 5 ultra runners that have made a career out of the sport. And I mean, I was just asking him questions, and he said something to me after the Sahara Desert race is kind of,
Which you won.
yes.
Tell everyone, like, by the way, Ryan won that, and he is the only athlete in the history of mankind, I believe, to win all of it, to win all of the, what do they call that series again?
4 Desert Series.
The 4 Desert Series. Go and look it up. You've got YouTube. It's 2024. And Google the 4 Desert Series. He's the only human being to have ever won that. No need to be humble. Insane races. Sorry, he said.
So he said, like, looked at me and said, like, winning races doesn't necessarily get you sponsors. And I mean, as I said, I just won the Sahara Desert race. I'd beaten Dean. I was like, dude, you just sour grapes. And then it was only, like, I mean, because I was quite taken aback by the comment, but it was only actually when I was like on the plane when I got home, it was like the light bulb went on or the penny dropped. It's like, it was like such a valuable lesson for me, like starting out my career, realizing that, yeah, you do need the performances, but you also need to be like an all-round athlete. I mean, if you can't be, like, people don't feel like you're approachable and they can't speak to you and kind of, you don't want to chat to media and you don't want to share stuff on social media, then I mean, I don't think, or you're not very valuable to sponsors. So I mean, that was amazing for me to learn, and like, I suddenly realized, okay, Flip, you're a shy person, you're an introvert, but you need to kind of get out and talk to people. You need to be happy to do motivational talks.
So be the whole package.
For sure, and I think that's so important. And I mean, it's even more important now, I think, with social media. It's such an important part of things.
There is a side of me that resents you a little bit, Ryan, because you are also a handsome bastard. So you've also got that. Not only are you an unbelievable, historically great athlete, but you've got an unbelievably handsome face, and I do not. And I'm not a great athlete, and you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit...
She's now got a couple of grey hairs now.
Getting old. You look regal, like a George Clooney. You've got like a bit of a George Clooney thing going. He's getting into his purple patch now. You know, I must say, I do resent you a little bit for that. I want to be very honest about it.
I don't know why you say you're not an athlete. This guy runs like 30-minute 10Ks.
No, but
like, it's... Come on.
Yeah, but
You're humble, I know, so I'll say it.
I am humble, but he's also handsome. Okay, fine, I can pretty fit, but I'm not handsome as well. This guy, marketing dream, and actually nice person. Getting to know Ryan,
actually nice,
because there are some fake people in the world. Actually nice guy, great resume. Ryan, I know you've been super gracious with your time. Do you have any questions for Ryan that you won't ask him on the podcast? You're not going to reply to him about, which is trail culture, by the way.
Thanks. I'll get back to you. No, I'm joking. I just like feelings about being here. I mean, you raced the miler last year, and now you're in the race village, and you're in the mix this weekend. But yeah, I mean, any like regrets about not being on this miler start line?
To be honest, no. as I said, I've been lucky enough to do the sport for a long time. I mean, I always say trail running is more than just a sport to me. It's a kind of a lifestyle, a community. I enjoy being here, but I'm also comfortable not always having to race. I'm running the marathon tomorrow. I'm excited for that, and I mean, it's been awesome just to be at the race village and check it out, meet people. I mean, I think it's something I've realized, like, as my career's gone along, that I've got a concept in Cape Town called 13 Peaks, and to be honest, seeing people finish that, like something I created, I think I'm more proud of that than any kind of Western States winners trophy. Or I mean, for me, it's about like seeing people going out there and trying to like push their own limits and really kind of going out and living life. And I mean, for me, it's so awesome to kind of chat to a few people today about their 13 Peaks experiences and telling me how tough it was. And I mean, for me, that's way more rewarding at this point in my career than kind of being on a start line or winning a race.
That's amazing. Great. Hey, marketing dream. I told you.
I know.
Handsome,
I'm just like,
articulate.
he's so nice.
He gets it.
Yeah.
He understands it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You should probably get him on your podcast. What's it called again?
Probably Trail Culture.
Trail Culture. Trail Culture. I don't know if I told you, Emma has a podcast.
Oh my God.
Ryan,
What's it called again?
Trail Culture.
Okay.
Trail Culture, yeah.
Okay.
Trailculture.co.za. She's also a coach, probably trying to recruit you as a client as well. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh no, his coach is like my hero. Speaking of heroes in the sport, I know he has to go, but Jason Coop is like, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is
he
he a
has
beast?
no, he's like amazing. He's also got a book, a podcast. You have to be inspired by people, and that guy's just next level.
Oh, I see. But maybe now you're praising him, and then Ryan will go, "Oh, she's such a nice person." Consider her as a coach. I'm not saying that's what's happening.
You guys see right through me.
I've kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
I've kind of figured out. Ryan, I know you got to go. Before we let you go, though, one thing for me is sometimes I do want to ask Ryan, like, "Hey, what are you up to?" But then, like, I asked him for some training advice a while back. He gave me some, and and then I do sometimes want to go, "What is this guy up to?" Because I also think to myself, yes, I sometimes get stuck training, and it's like, but I want to do stuff that takes me to the next level. And then I don't actually text him. I'm like, oh no, why would you want to hear from this idiot? He's probably running 400 kilometers a day. But what are you doing at the moment, Ryan? Where can we look out for you? Because I think people should aim upwards. None of us are perfect. But when people do great things, one of the things I love about your adventures and getting to know you, it's like, oh wow, this guy's a human being and he has a family and he has a wife and he has a child. But he keeps endeavoring for like finding a great Orion Sands, or that's how I interpret you anyway. What are you up to at the moment, bro? And what can we look out in 2024 for where can the guys and girls find you who want to follow you?
Yeah, so on the social platforms, I'm pretty active on Instagram.
Yeah, Ryan Sands.
Ryan Sands.
Yep.
And then also busy wrapping up a book, a second book. So that's been really cool. Just kind of I've started this book, or kind of written it with Steve Smith, who wrote my last book with me. And just basically from 2016 onwards, where the last book left off. So obviously, I'd say after winning Western States in 2017, which was like a major dream and goal for me, I've done a few more projects since there. So like Reno and I ran across the Greater Malaya Trail. We've done a circumnavigation of Lesotho. I attempted to run along the Skeleton Coast, but ran into guys seal clubbing, and they thought I was Greenpeace. And I mean, it's a long story.
Is it in the book?
Yeah.
Great teaser.
Yeah, exactly. Things escalated.
You ran into seal clubbers.
Yeah. So and then the guy who's done a lot of my films with me, Dean, he always said, like, dude, if shit goes down, just make sure you're rolling the GoPro. So that, I mean, I did a stupid thing when they approached me and they were like, what the hell are you doing here? I pulled out the GoPro, started filming. It was a GoPro with like a 360 lens. So they thought I was doing like trying to like live stream it, and didn't.
Wait, is the story in the book?
Yeah.
I want to stop you there. That is how you tease a book.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get it now.
I'm also like trail runner, marketing dream, and then like, I don't know,
Seal
hardcore,
clubs.
like he's like a spy. It's
Yeah,
like an undercover
dude.
vibe going on here as well.
I didn't even know this. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Wait, when is the book coming out now?
So coming out in early September, it goes into print end of August, and then gonna.
Ryan, is this an exclusive? Did you give us an exclusive? Does anybody else know that you're writing a book? This is the first time you've talked about it in public.
Maybe I wasn't allowed to talk about it.
No, well, so this is this is the first time. Unbelievable! I can't believe we got a Ryan Sands exclusive, dude. Ryan, always great to chat to you, bro. And you haven't done fake humble. He actually is a nice guy. I do sound like I'm punting him. Ryan's not paying me. You know, he is actually a nice human. And I've been saying all week, I don't work with dickheads. I don't associate with dickheads. I wouldn't have you on the phone or on the couch if you were a dickhead. So, dude, thanks for that. And as a South African, I am this guy. You know, I used to always think it was cool. I'm not that patriotic. I actually am. I was lying to myself to seem cool on social media. But you've put South Africa's flag, just as the Springboks do, just as far as I'm concerned, Dave Matthews before, Elon Musk, when they take, you know, the nation's flag out there and they compete on the global stage. Dude, I want to urge you to keep doing what you're doing, because some people, we may be too proud to say it, but you make us seek a better thing in us. We don't have to go and trail run. It's like, I can do more if Ryan's doing all this crazy stuff. So, dude, shout out to you. And yeah, when the book comes out, please, we'll make sure to punt it. And I'm pretty sure Em will ask you about it on the podcast eventually, when she gets you on there. And dude, keep doing your thing, bro. And another thing I love about you that I'm not sure if I've told you, I love that you're a family person. So I can only wish you and your family just pure health, dude. I've had the pleasure of meeting your wife and child on start and finish lines a couple of times. But
thanks so much.
Health for them and for you. Keep inspiring, dude. Keep rocking. And thanks for your time.
I appreciate it. No, really, really cool chatting, and likewise to you. Thanks for all you doing for our sport and showcasing it, and yeah, getting people amped to get out there.
Absolutely. Em, you're gonna.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask now, or you?
Do I want to ask now?
Again,
like about the
pod or your coaching?
I'm gonna have to like grovel and be like, dude, I'm sorry I ghosted you. Like, I don't know.
What a weird way to get so. Like, are you playing like some psychic? Just get the podcast.
No.
Why are you ignoring it? Unbelievable. Em Robertson, she'll stay with us. Em's gonna stay with us. We're gonna go to a little break. Because we got to let Ryan go. It's a big deal. Like, he's probably got to do another 15 podcasts today alone. I don't know what's going on. He's all over the place. It's a big deal. But a true legend of the sport, and not hyped. You can go and look him up. I mean, this is the real deal. And for Ryan to take this much time with us, seriously appreciate it. He's actually gone over time a little bit. He's now got 4 minutes to get to his next thing, where we promised we wouldn't keep him too late. But hey, what are you going to do? Myself and Em, just selfish, just content creator. We just care about us. Who cares how your life goes? After this, Em Robertson and myself stay together. It's the MKT show.
If you had to take a whole bunch of 100 milers and throw them into one, you get MUT.
I feel privileged, like super privileged, but of course super nervous.
I'm excited to find out who I am and what I'm capable of.
You always get excited, but you know you're in for some hurt, so you prep and you mentally prepare for that. But yeah, excited just to get out and race on these trails. It's always nice to race at home.
To all the runners who are taking part, enjoy, have fun out there.
If you had to take a whole bunch of 100 milers and throw them into one, you get MUT.
I feel privileged, like super privileged, but of course super nervous.
I'm excited to find out who I am and what I'm capable of.
You always get excited, but you know you're in for some hurt, so you prep and you mentally prepare for that. But yeah, excited just to get out and race on these trails. It's always nice to race at home.
To all the runners who are taking part, enjoy, have fun out there.
The MKT show. I am MKT. You know, a lot of people saying, I'm seeing some comments from people saying demographics. Great word. Well, I was referring to the urban folks. So the urban folks are now moving over to the trail running scene. Take what you will from that. Urban. It's a term. Em, you heard the term urban?
I believe you shared the term urban with me.
Yes.
Yes. We were speaking about the glasses, the music style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Urban refers to a certain demographic of society. I'll leave it for interpretation. Whoever people think urban people are, they are scarce in trail running, but are moving this way.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there, you know, the urban folks.
Urban folks.
So they said there's a comment here on WhatsApp. It says demographics. Interesting, great choice of words. Not gonna lie, had me in the first half because they thought I might take it a different direction there.
Oh, okay.
But urban, the urban folks,
There we
and
go.
demographics. I think
Yeah.
those are the words we use. Ryan Sands, how about that?
How about that? Wow.
How about that? Whatever happened to that girl?
Yeah, I don't know. Great. Once off, it's like artists who release one song, it's a hit, and you never hear of them again.
I think she became a rapper.
Wow.
Forbes, did she become a rapper? You remember How About That?
Yeah.
She became a rapper?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she had a rap career.
Oh, cool.
Fought with Dr. Phil live on TV and became a rapper.
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What a wild
Nice.
story.
Yeah, that is wild. Are you into do you rap? I feel like that's something.
I would do.
No, I feel like you have a variety of things that you're good at. So I'm asking because I'm like, you have a long list of stuff that you're good at. I'm like, is that one of them?
No,
Okay.
I'm possibly the least creative human you've ever met. Like I don't have a bone in my body of creativity. So that kind of stuff. I'm in awe of musicians, rappers, poets, people who can write. No.
Okay.
So that is one thing I would. How do I put this? It would be terrible at.
Okay.
I would be a terrible rapper. Zero creativity, as they say.
And karaoke? Like, how's that? How do you feel about something like that?
As an urban demographic, I don't feel as though karaoke's our thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I represent the urban demographics, and I feel as though that's for a different demographic. I don't want to start creating a racial divide on the show, but I feel like there's a certain demographic, especially after a few drinks, who love a karaoke.
Yes.
Who would live in Stellenbosch.
And we don't
let's
have
say.
to get into the song choices that
No, but like Hungry Eyes and
anything by ABBA.
yes, oh, that demographic, whoever those people are that you're saying like ABBA largely and would live in sort of a Stellenbosch area, that demographic who would be non-urban, I feel like karaoke is more their thing.
Got you.
With all due respect to whoever may hear this and be offended by it, but that demographic, you have some of the characteristics of somebody who might be into karaoke.
That is actually my worst nightmare.
Oh, really?
Purely from I'm like laughing right now because I'm saying this while I'm on like live, like YouTube with you talking, but like getting up, being the center of attention and having to sing. No.
It's
also, I just can't like singing. No, nobody needs to hear that.
So even after a few drinks, you're not like, oh, let's go to karaoke.
I'm like, I'll egg someone else on. I'll be like, go do it, go do it.
I see.
I'll video you, you know. So I'm like, I'm in it for the vibe, but I'm like, don't put me up there, please.
Awkward moment with you not getting back to Ryan. That is so awkward for that to happen live.
To be fair,
Let's hear it.
He ghosted me first for
Okay.
like months. Like my initial message, then I was like, he probably doesn't manage his own account, whatever.
Yes,
and
yeah.
also like, I'm sure you have this. It's easier to connect with someone when you've actually met them. You know, you've got a bit of rapport, but it's like just a cold, you know.
No, I've got no
message.
Scum. I'm not like you.
Yeah. No, I've got no scum. I
no,
do
you're
it,
a respectful person.
But
I'm not.
I get it. Like if he hasn't replied, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm offended with this guy. I'm just like, oh yeah, makes sense, you know. But yeah, big whips that I haven't WhatsApped him. But I was like, I wanna, because he's like, can we do it online? These are his travel dates. So I was like, okay, I'll come back to you. And then I was also like, I need to send him a brief. That was my promise. That's what I ghosted him on. I was like, a guideline of what I'll ask him. And I froze in terms of like, what has this guy been asked? I want to try and think of something different, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I came here, and here we are. And then I had the awkward moment, and
It's awkward you have to address it live. You know what I mean? That's it's always.
Thanks.
Oh, no worries. Please, it's good content. I'm not interested in your feelings and your life going well. I want good content for my show. So, and that was.
And he's funny. He's like, it cut me deep, you know. I was
like,
yeah.
Not just he is a handsome guy though, hey?
Yeah, he's handsome.
He's like weirdly handsome. It's like wow, like you should be like on a poster. He's like
and he is on posters. Have you ever like back in the day? There was a gym in Stellenbosch that I used to be in, and they had this whole thing about like trail runners, and the one day and like the adverts would like slide like on this massive screen in front of the treadmills, and one day I'm like running on the treadmill listening to some music, and I look up and it's like boom, Ryan Sands is like there with some energy drink or whatever. Red Bull, duh.
Yeah, Red Bull.
And it's like, oh,
Maybe
Red Bull gives you wings, but it's like, so he is on
he was like the face of Red Bull like for like a decade. And not just here, like global. He was like one of the three big faces. Really? Like before Travis Pastrana, I think, moved to Monster.
Yeah.
Like it was him, like all these adventure guys. It was Ryan, like globally.
Yeah. So I'm like, he can do it all. Be on the posters, run the races, you know. Like we said, life's not fair. People are just, they're just multi-talented.
Handsome, talented. He like when I bet when the marketers saw him like at Salomon and at Red Bull.
Yeah, they were just like,
oh my god. We are going to have to do no work and still get our bonuses at the end of the year because this guy's going to push. Like, women and men are going to be into this guy. And he's from Cape Town, so both men and women in Cape Town love it.
And he's got the whole Cape Townian accent, like the chill thing, but you know, he's chilled about running 100 miles in under 24 hours.
No big deal. And I won Western States. Like, it's not a big deal.
The desert, the whole thing.
He's the only person to have ever won the Desert Series, by the way, the whole Desert Series.
It's crazy.
It's insane, isn't it? 250-kilometer races in like deserts and like frozen tundras.
Oh, that's
Antarctica is
Antarctica
is the one that's in the ice, and he's won all of them.
Yeah, it's wild. But like the
before
desert
he was
thing,
30, like he was like 30 years old when he did that, by the way.
I mean, how many? I've got 3 years. Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, you can get.
Jokes.
With all due respect to you, you can't even get back someone on Instagram. So I don't know if you should be doing 250-kilometer races.
I don't think so. I can't commit to anything.
When are you running 100 miler? Let's cut the crap here.
I'm keen. It's definitely on my like radar. I think it's come up a lot. Even Ryan said it. You have to build up. So I would like to run it like the year that I turn 30. I feel like that's the coolest way to like celebrate.
Okay, so it's 2024. In 2027, you're going to run a 100 miler.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you that camera. Forbes, pan to her, and you have to make a commitment.
Okay. Oh, cool. Actually, no, I'm not afraid to make that commitment.
Let's do it like you're in jail. You got to look at the camera. My name is, and what you're going to do. But you got to look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera. My name is Emily Robertson, and I'm committing to, in the year 2027, running a 100 miler, preferably the George MUT by UTMB 100 miler.
There we go. But you've committed now.
It's out there.
And the guy strapped you up because we've got professionals. M. Robertson has committed to running a 100 miler. So now we've got to make it official. I'm going to find people, corporates or something. Do you do the charity thing?
Yeah.
I wonder if should we turn it into something?
Let's turn it into something.
Let's see if we can maybe like build up with races, like maybe you do marathon, Should we workshop it a
Will you
bit?
do
People
it
are
with
watching
me?
us workshop.
Will you do this with me? I'm like, you're probably going to be busy here.
Yeah.
But I'm like
Your
or
first
a,
100
what
mile.
about a race? Like leading up to it. You know, there's going to have to be other races. You've done a couple of 100Ks.
If you do 100K in the build-up, I'll do it with you. But you have to do 100K. I'm not
Cool.
doing. I'm not. I find it very difficult to train for anything less than 100Ks. Like get motivated.
Great.
So
Cool.
when you get to the 100K stage, and that can be this year, by the way. Whenever you are ready
Cool.
to do 100K, I'll do it
I'm
with
going
you.
to phone you.
Committed.
Great. This is the best
Let's shake on it. Huh?
conversation I've had this week.
No, it's happening.
Nice.
But this is real life now. This is.
Is doing a 100-miler going to elevate me out of my granny status? I feel like, how am I ever going to get rid of that? I'm just like the granny of trail running.
Or change your name from Emily to like a cooler name that's not from
No,
1837.
I'm attached to the family, like, you know, it's my grand's name.
Hey, you told
my
me
parents named me that.
You know, you told me your
Don't
grandmother
disrespect
watched the
me.
show. Did she
Yes.
see people making fun of, or did she see me in particular making fun of the fact that her
she's-
name is
she's
for
coming
old
for
people?
you.
What did she say?
So luckily, the granny that watched the show isn't the one I'm named after. That would be awkward.
Yeah.
But this other granny of mine is, I mean, she loves her grandkids, and she's like, someone making fun of my grandchild. But yeah, I was like, oh no, gran, like you'll keep watching, like you'll see the friendship kind of develop. It's all
Oh,
good. It's all
acquaintance,
good.
not friendship. Acquaintance.
I'm just gonna keep saying friendship
no,
until
no,
you
no, no,
accept it.
no, we are not there yet.
Hey, I'm like, we've had like, you know.
Em, it's been
some
3 days.
chats.
Well,
Yeah. How long does it take you to make? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, well, what if you're a terrible person? No, what if I'm a terrible person? I could see that took. What if I'm a terrible person and I'm just professional in front of the camera? Like, it's
No,
possible.
I've seen you off, and also I'm like, these guys wouldn't be your friends. So
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Are
the
you saying that
guys
they-
work with me, so there's financial incentive for them to be here. So there's also a professional arrangement. Not everybody likes the people they work with and for. So maybe their attachment to me
I
is.
haven't met anyone this week who's like doesn't have great things to say about you, and I know you think you're good, but there's no ways you pull the wool over so many people's eyes.
That's true.
Even,
That's true.
yeah,
I'm
as talented as you are. Yeah,
It's true. It's true. We must clip that for my mother, so that she knows that she's raised a good man.
There
A
you
good
go.
man, Savannah. He's a good man. Hey, nice hoodie.
Thank you.
You know, we headed into the business end now. 100 miler set off today.
Yeah, deep.
Yeah.
I cried.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't expect to, but I
Really?
just got so emotional. It's like some of the greatest athletes, Rod Ryan was talking about now, like South Africa's got no shortage of talent, and like seeing some of those guys and girls standing there who I've had chats with, some of them I've known for longer than others, some I don't know at all, and something, I don't know, the music, and all, what actually happened was I looked at them in the 30-second countdown, and then I looked to the tunnel of spectators, and I just had a little cry, you know?
But I love that because, you know, maybe as people get to know you, obviously trail culture, that it hasn't come up that's your podcast, trailculture.co.za, go and see her stuff's great. But you're really into it. Wow. So you really, and it's difficult for me because I was working on the start line.
Yeah, you
and
had a
there
job
were
to do, yeah.
what your demographic would call praise singers. The mandem would call them imbongi. So umbonga is what you experience there, is the praise singers.
Awesome.
So that there was a whole like closer procession.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to do the best thing, you get closer people to do it.
Yeah.
We saw it today.
I mean, at the end, I don't know, my Xhosa
That's
isn't
the
like
praise
at the
singer.
point where I could understand what he was saying, but I was like, his passion, I was like, okay, I'm ready, let's go, 100 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys are still running, fueled by those 5 minutes.
Amazing,
Definitely,
hey?
yeah.
No, it was an amazing build-up, start of the month. Hey, I love that you like, but you really are. Like, you have surprised me how into it you are. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm at work and I love this lifestyle, but listening to you has a little bit rekindled something in me. Like, yeah, you should get that excited again about it, and it's not just work. Like, it is awesome. So your
Yeah.
enthusiasm, your
Oh, cool.
enthusiasm, and for you to get emotional, that emotional about it is amazing. I love that.
It surprised me. I was like standing with Tam and some of the Live Village guys, and they were all like, dude, and I was like, I know, sorry, like yeah, but I think like as cliche as it might sound, like trail running changed my life. Like I wasn't into the sport at all. Like, I mean, we spoke a bit. I ran a bit at school. Not really. I actually hated running at school. It's like I only did it on athletics day when basically a prefect would be like, you have to, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like the swimming, other sports, and then like the community that I met and the people I've got to work with, like, yeah, it's changed my whole life. So I think that's why I'm just into it.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. Very, very similar for me. It changed the course of my life. So when I stopped drinking in 2013, I decided, because I know my personality, I need to manage myself. Some people are able to just like live in life and
Do
just
moderation.
coast along. Yeah, I need to be managed, and I've also got a thing where I hate being told what to do. Like, I cannot tell you how much I hate being told what to do. So when you're my personality is, if you don't take 100% responsibility for yourself, I'm the most dangerous kind of person to be around, because if you have my personality and my sort of ego, and you don't constantly keep an eye on it, it can get out of hand, right? And not only can it be bad for me, but with my kind of personality, it's bad for everyone around you, because I'm not the kind of person to be in a spiral and you're not going to hear about it. So my family was in the spiral with me, because I'm giving strong feedback to anybody around me. Let me just say that on everything.
Strong feedback, I love that.
Positive or negative. But when I started running, and so 2013, stopped drinking. So I love what you're saying. I'm not sure if I've ever spoken about this on the show, but for me, you know what running, particularly this 100-mile training and 100K and ultra mountain stuff, particularly mountain stuff, is the level of preparation just to be proficient. Forget about getting better at it. The level of preparation you have to do for some of the stuff I've done, 250K, 100-mile, that kind of stuff, is if you don't prepare, you're going to die. And I've nearly died twice in the Drakensberg. Real story. Maybe I'll bore you with that another time. Literally, they had to fetch me with a helicopter the one time. It was, or both times actually, and find me in the middle of a 250K big race. And it was completely my fault. Underprepared.
DGT?
No, bigger. I've done the DGT a couple of times. I've run the DGT twice, but this
need
was,
you to write a book.
It was kind of like DGT, but you take out one of the big climbs. So it's a 250K monster. It's kind of based on the Red Bull X Alps.
Okay.
Yeah. You can actually find the story online. Somebody wrote about it when I nearly died. If you Google my name, Mbulelo Tinta nearly dies or whatever, you'll find the story.
You and Ryan have got like a death wish. You were telling me yesterday about stuff on Table Mountain. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. No,
we need to keep you like alive.
Yeah,
You know?
don't die.
Don't die. Yeah.
And I'm just starting to enjoy my life. But anyway, so what I really like about the training is it gives my life shape. You know, sometimes people struggle to be disciplined enough, and people like Ryan, I mean, you'd have to ask him, but what running does ultimately, if you make it the center of your life, it gives the rest of your life shape, because it lets people know where you are. So, and also when you want to make people proud is when they know where you are, there is something intrinsic for me that gives it shape. It's like, they don't really care if you win. Do the things you're going to say you're going to do when you say you're going to do them. And running gives my life that sort of shape of not to be perfect, but do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it.
Yeah, show up.
And then it's your fault. So my father always used to say to me, everything's your fault. So the nice thing about running is you are only as fit as your training. Like, it's not like, you know, in football.
There's no magical.
Exactly. But in football, it's like, I love football and football's my game. I was a footballer from 6 till 25, at the age of 6 till 25, you know. And it's easy to hide behind the left back if your left back's very good. In running, you cannot. It is you.
Can't hide.
And if you don't train, and if you eat badly, and if you go for a wine with the ladies, and you don't go for training, like, nobody cares. Running does not care about that. So that's what I mean is the beauty of what you're saying with it changing your life. For me, it did that as well, because for a long time, my life didn't have shape. Like, you've got to sleep. You've got to do stuff.
It's a whole lifestyle change. No, it's like you have to be one person. You can't, as you say, be a slob and then show up and win 100 miles. It's just not going to work. And I love that about the sport.
And you know where, for me, running is unique compared to cycling, compared to any of them. In every other thing, there's equipment. Running will expose you to yourself, because you don't need equipment to show that you're not fit. If you've got a nicer paddle than me, you'll be better on a kayak. You just will be. If you've got a nicer tennis racket than me, like I said, if you've got better boots than me on a football pitch, it does make it slightly more comfortable. Running does not care. The mountains do not care. The road does not care. Do you show up? And then it's all in you. And again, it's giving my life. So, and that's how I need to be hyper managed by myself.
Yeah.
And running is a vehicle for me there.
Yeah.
So
it's cool.
Yeah.
And I think something like even this week has shifted. I did like a run earlier today with one of my friends and also an athlete of mine, and we were just running I wanted him to see the last bit of the course, like it's changed, and he's going to be running pretty quick coming into the 60k finish, and I was like, don't freak out when you hit the road, like it is going to happen, because I think trail athletes, you're going to be like, flip, why am I on the road? And anyway, and he asked me like, I haven't seen him in a while, and he was like, something feels different, and I was like, yeah, I'm like inspired again, and even like after coming out of the injury, like
something
committed.
feels different about you as a person.
Yeah, like I'm inspired like by this whole week, and like seeing the amazing humans who've shown up, who've trained, who've put it in, register yesterday, you know, start this morning. I mean, this chat happened before, but it's like, yeah, I'm like just motivated to like get it done. You said like you can't just do this and not do it, you know, like you can't be in this world and not run. And I think, yeah, I'm just stoked about the fact I'm like coming out of the injury, you're getting back into it. The sport's still beautiful, it's still here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Is your family here yet?
I actually don't know. I think so. My phone's been off, but they're on their way. They should be here soon.
Okay,
yeah.
sweet. So you and your sister 10k Sunday.
Let's go.
We'll keep people updated because people might be invested now. Like, is M actually going to run?
I'm definitely going to run.
Is
it?
Yeah. You got to show up.
Yeah, got to show up.
I
hope, Shane, my sister's actually a bit sick, so I might be on my ace. But yeah,
when you say sick, I mean, let's call her out.
So, Shane, no, she's a teacher, and I'm sorry, little kids are petri dishes for germs.
They are they're walking diseases.
She is hardcore. My sister's like, if she says she's sick, yeah, it's deep.
Okay,
yeah,
so
like the fact that she admitted it, like it's not like one of my other family members being like, oh, she's sick. Like she messaged me and she's like, dude, I feel sick. I was like, oh.
Or having said that, is she still coming?
Yeah, but that was earlier this week. I haven't chatted to her since. I'm hoping she feels better. She also has the ability to just decide that she's healthy, and then like that's just her willpower, you know. She's like, I'm done with this sickness.
If she is sick, stay at home though. Like.
Yeah, she won't come into the race village and stuff. I was just like, there's too many athletes who need to do something this weekend for you to like pass it on.
Don't you hate those people? If you're sick, stay at home. Why are you coming to work to make the rest of us sick? I've never understood that. Like you're not Braveheart.
Yeah.
Like, stay at home and take a lozenge and watch, I don't know, The Departed or whatever.
Yeah, and just like
stay
keep
at
your
home.
germs and
this is not a team. Being sick is not a team sport. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, Melanie or it's usually a Melanie. Like
yeah.
Oh, and then they get to work and like, guys, I'm so sick. Okay, no one cares. Go home.
Yeah.
We're
not going to be like, well done for coming to work.
No. Listen, you're not a soldier on the front line in Stalingrad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not taking on the Nazis to defend the rights of Western society. You're just some douchebag who needs the attention for being sick, is what I thought.
I'm just like, no.
Am I a bad person for saying this? It is like
no, well, let's be honest. Everybody thinks it. If you're sitting in an office or a space and someone walks in there like, I'm sick, you're just saying what everyone's thinking. So well done. Yeah.
Like you're not Bill Gates. We don't need you here.
Yeah, I'm like, we probably don't. So just you know, and also like technology, we can zoom you in. If we need you, we'll phone you. Like,
why don't people tell people that? Don't be a hero. Yeah. Or as a friend of mine, I got a friend of mine. He says, "Don't be a hero." He says, "Hey, MK, don't be a hero. You're being a bit of a hero there.
A hero.
That's when you're doing too much." He's of Jewish persuasion, so he's got a heavy South African Jewish accent.
Wow.
So he says, "Yeah, MK." It's when I'm doing a bit much. Believe it or not, I can do a bit much every now and then. I know it sounds crazy for someone as humble as me, but he'll say to me, "No, MK, you're being a hero. You're being a bit of a hero, yeah." And then I know I got to wind it in. Listen, crying on the finish line, good for you. Talk to me. It's game time now. The athletes have gone away. What do we do now? Hey, we wait.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously tomorrow the 60 and the 40k goes out. So excited. Seeing who showed up. I mean, we both saw Admire this morning. He was almost like a surprise appearance. And it's like, you know, I feel sorry for people who have to race him. I'm like, best of luck to you. He's a machine.
It's going to be an incredible race. Him and Kane Riley.
I know.
So fast.
Yeah, so fast. And I mean, Ryan just said now he's doing the marathon. There's a couple of big names. So excited for that.
Admire and Ryan are running the 60k.
Oh, is Ryan doing the 60?
No, Ryan's not running 40. Admire and Kane, sorry.
Yeah, 60k.
The 60k. And that's going to be a race to look out for. You can check that on the UTMB site. There is tracking for that.
Then you've got Ryan and Robbie.
Rob Roerick.
Doing vibes, the 40k. Rebecca's there. I know we chatted about this. So it's the tension of like, watching that, being stoked, checking where the miler athletes are at as well. So the tracking system is up. I heard from Juliet, she's Swiss French, and she's like, it's a Swiss system, it will work, you know.
So people who don't know, Juliet, I met her last year. and she is so Swiss.
Yeah,
She is so Swiss. So my mom lived in Switzerland, so I've got a framework for what they're like as people.
Yeah.
And she's actually that person.
Yes.
She's the person you do caricatures about Swiss people. She's like, no, well, it's Swiss, it's gonna work. And
yeah, and she's like, I only trusted the Swiss system. She's like, I flew with this in my bag.
Yes.
You know, I was like, great. So
what she's telling you, she's communicating, the rest of you people can't actually do what we can do. And it's a very Swiss way of rolling. And listen, I don't know if you've been to Switzerland.
yes, I have.
She's
I'm
not
like,
far
I
wrong.
was like, she's not wrong. That's
She's-
the thing.
yeah.
I'm like, you can say that because it's correct. So
There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. I think if you're right, you're being confident. You know, arrogant is when you know we step into, like, if I said, yeah, I can bench press 300 kilograms as well, or whatever. I don't know anyone who can, but you know what I mean.
Rebecca's sister, yeah.
Much better person than Rebecca, actually. Isabella's her name. Isabella Kerner.
But it's like
Hole in the heart.
if you the arrogance, like, you're wrong, but you can't admit it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Then it's like you get too deep into it. you
Whereas
know?
Juliet works for UTMB, an unbelievably nice person, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, she's big time. She just got a promotion. Anyway, I'm not sure people want to hear the inner workings of UTMB. But considering her level of what she's working at UTMB, such a nice person. And you know what? A mountain person.
Yeah.
I don't like when companies employ people. We had Paul Huddle yesterday. By the way, Paul Huddle, married to a South African guy. He's the big boss at Ironman trail running, global lead, global director. Sport. Yesterday, married to a South African woman, also an Ironman. Also, they were both professional Ironman.
Yeah.
I don't know how they kept their relationship together.
Yeah.
But Juliet, big time skiing. You know, alpine culture where she's from is like a real
Big
thing.
thing, yeah.
I think it's weird when companies don't employ people that are about that. You know, in the youth or you thing, they say, I'm about that life.
The youth or you think.
Yeah, when the youth or you think they're about that life, Juliet and Paul,
they're about this.
They're
But
about that life.
I think you, I don't know, I think you said it maybe earlier on the MKT show, like, when you were chatting to Zane, like, you can see that this event's being put on by a runner who
100%.
loves the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed to somebody who's just good at doing the race director's job.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, there's a difference, you know, the nuances of the sport and everything come through, and it's like, you know, it's
and
better.
Also, and also for me, working with the event, you know, it's, I worked with Zane on the very first event, took some time off, ran one of the events, but working at this event, and then you meet the UTMB guys, and I met Juliet and Paul Huddle last year, and it was like, oh, these are mountain people.
Yeah.
Because for me, I take this sport seriously because of the ethos. I would find it weird if UTMB sent people here, and it's like, oh, you're just some corporate douchebag. But Juliet, like, her and I were chatting about mountains. We were chatting about events we'd been to at ski resorts and skiing. So I was like, oh, awesome, an alpine person.
Yeah.
Also very Swiss though. She is, Juliet is very organized, very, very organized. New hairstyle this year, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she said something. She had like the pigtail thing going on.
She had a brunette vibe. This year
Oh,
we've gone blonde.
wow.
So,
Okay.
you know, they say with the lady, if she changes her hair, don't ask.
Yeah.
Somebody
hurt you. Yes.
But it's probably positive because she got a promotion.
Yeah.
Maybe she's getting married. Or if she wants that, I'm happy for Juliet. And it's great to have her here, the whole UTMB team. Dude, it's been amazing to have you here this week.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for you know, joining us. Thanks for giving me a lift.
Anytime.
Gave me a lift home. Fan court, very fancy here in George, by the way.
Very fancy, very cool. Wow.
Super fancy. You're staying on a strawberry farm.
Just next door,
Next door to a strawberry farm.
Isn't that the great thing about George? It's like you have like there's a city vibe, like there's actually something going on here, but then there's also like the wholesome, farmy, you know, vibe to this as well.
Someone who lives here yesterday said, no, she tells everyone that George is actually terrible.
So they don't come here.
Exactly. She goes, oh, it's so windy and the weather's unpredictable because too many people are starting to come down here. And she said, as far as everyone's concerned, she says, actually, it's outstanding.
Yeah,
it is
outstanding.
flippin' outstanding. Em, great to have you, man. I hope you have an incredible week. You know what? I was feeling some type of way about you using our show to network, but I've come down off that. I don't mind punting trail culture and making sure that people head on over. And you've got room for one more athlete? No. Yes, no.
Are you keen?
To be coached by you?
We'd have to become friends so you can decide if that's gonna.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I like you yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you've been hella pleasant on the show, but then what if I look behind the curtain and it's like, ooh,
I see.
Because I'm not a romantic.
Let's do that 100K run. I feel like you can't hide anything in that,
No,
and
I
then
hear
we can
you.
decide.
But I want to make it very clear. This will shock you. I'm a bachelor. I'm not a romantic. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, I enjoyed this time with M. This is who she is. I need a little more. You know, is she actually this person? Is she putting on for the cameras? Is it because she's in her community? You know, I've got to know what happens. Say you get home and you get to the fridge and the milk that you want to use in your coffee's off. I want to know how you deal with that situation because I got to see you at your worst. You know what I mean?
At my worst.
Because I'm seeing you in your element.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So I think, the racing side of things is a good way to see it. You got to peel everything back.
Yeah. But also, I've got to see you in Monday, and like, I want to know, what do you like on a Thursday at 4:15 in the afternoon? I have to know. You must be very careful.
That means we have to hang out though.
Oh yeah, well, that's a whole other story. But you must be very careful to confuse behavior and character. So I don't want to fall into, oh, her behavior's been good, and then, you know what I mean? So.
Steep, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get it, yeah.
Listen, this is not your mother's house. I didn't bring you here to make you feel comfortable. I'm going to shoot you with the truth.
It's great.
Our relationship's evolving in the right direction, in my opinion. It's a hell of a start.
It's a hell of a start, yeah. And thanks to you for phoning me and being like, dude, you're welcome on the show, being inclusive. Like, you didn't have to do that, so I really appreciate it.
Listen, what did they say? A pleasure shared is a pleasure doubled. Appreciate you. Thank you for everything this week, and let's have a great weekend because we just got started. Trail Culture, check her out. M. Robertson. It's been an absolute pleasure. PhD candidate, this lady, this human being, young, 27, PhD candidate. And by the way, maybe I'll leave it for her. Go and listen to the podcast. She'll tell you. She kind of alluded to it earlier. She was in America, she said. That wasn't just to muck about. Let's hope in the next few weeks, M has some great news to reveal about something that may happen to her and America. Go and listen to Trail Culture. I hope she'll keep us posted because she shared a little bit of that part. And, you know, if you believe in holding thumbs, I don't know why people do that. It doesn't do anything. You know, you're just uncomfortable for like 6 seconds. Don't hold thumbs. But all the good wishes. If you believe in immaculate vibes, send them M's way because there's some stuff cooking at the moment. I don't know if I've kind of put her in a hot spot here. But there is some stuff cooking. America, M, she's applied for something. And it'll be big if she gets it. So send your immaculate. If your fourth chakra is aligned, please aim it in M's direction because she will need all of the immaculate and good vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say again, to Forbes behind the camera, to Michael who's technical, to welcome. These are the guys who believed in the MKT show from the very beginning. They're not jumping on now. These are the guys who, when we were zero, nothing, I was nothing, that said, brother, we are on board. They've once again said, as you relaunch the MKT show, we are here with you from the beginning. Day ones, the youth will say. So to those guys, I love them and I appreciate them so much. It has not been easy. Listen, you got to keep it real. This is not a telenovela. I'm not going to give you just the nice part with makeup. It has not been easy. And, you know, it's been so much pressure of me having these guys. They made a decision that they have standards and they have got things absolutely humming. And I cannot tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I appreciate these guys. They make my life easier as we try and make a dream come true. Just a small business trying to go global. Appreciate you, Forbes. Appreciate you, Michael. Appreciate you. Welcome. You're the absolute best. To the terrific young woman who's been with us, M. Robertson, to all of our guests, to all of you at home, the feedback, thank you for sliding in the DMs. Thank you for not sending nudes, by the way, which was a pandemic at a stage in my life on Instagram. Thank you for being here. The MKT show, ladies and gentlemen, we will be in touch very, very soon. To the MUT, to the UTMB, to inspiring everybody around the world to say, you don't have to be a winner. You don't have to be the guy or girl who wins, but you can aim up, keep doing great things, protect the nature, love the nature, and it'll love you back. Ladies and gentlemen, for this week, my name is MKT Show. MKT, this has been the MKT Show, and for now, we are the hell out of here. That's a wrap. Awesome.